Friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business. And let me clarify something here, because somebody who is new here thought that I was saying that Joe Boo is a football god. Come on, man. Come on, man. The football gods are the 77 Dallas Cowboys. That's right. The 77 Dallas Cowboys, many of which are Hall of Famers. Those, my friends, are football gods. Let me start off by saying thoughts and prayers to my homie, Charles Haley, who just had both knees replaced. It's kind of funny because it's not funny. It ain't nothing funny about having knee joints replaced. But yesterday I just went through, got my second injection on my knee because I'm trying to avoid as long as possible getting my knee joints replaced, because my orthopedist looks at me and says, the way you move and all the stuff that you do, you're going to wear them out. You know, doing construction work the way you do, you're not going to be able to get down on your knees for at least a year. So we're trying to prolong and get you to 60, and that's why I'm getting these chicken grease injections, I call them, in my knee. And so I put a video out earlier today because I said the CBA needs to make sure that in this thing that they get health care for the rest of their lives. Because what these guys do, I never played professional football. I'm not anywhere close. So what I'm dealing with is minor in comparison to what a lot of these guys are doing. But I want you to see this clip of Charles, who just got both knees replaced. And FYI, we played football together at JMU. He's only 2 years older than I am.
You look really good for a good road.
Hey, man, hey, all those animals got to do good things, you know.
If you fall, you are going viral.
If I fall, you don't catch me right again.
I'll definitely catch you.
Why? You're the king, though.
Then why are you walking already, dog? You just had surgery.
Because they told me, don't towers allowed.
Why you didn't get your mouth done while you was on wonder?
Well, all of us can be great like you, bro.
I heard they got the best of you today.
Tell you, you would kill him.
I'm proud of you, man. You up already, dog. You know we got to take advantage of you right now. This is the only time we get you. This is the only time we're going to get you.
So my hat's off to every single football player out there that does and goes through literally hell on their bodies for our entertainment every week. So I don't care if you don't like Redskins or Eagles or whatever. These guys are giving it all. And we're talking about 56 years old having to get both knees replaced. You know, it's a wonderful thing to make a whole lot of money, but if you're not physically able to enjoy it, it doesn't mean much. So I am never mad at a player trying to get paid. Now, some news on our Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones has said he's thought long and hard about this in the shower about Dez Bryant returning to the Cowboys, and he's open to this. Let me say that again. Jerry Jones said he's thought long and hard about Dez Bryant returning in the shower and is open for just about, open to a return. Now, I always say this. To me, Jerry Jones is like that jackrabbit for the dog races. He jumps out real quick and all the dogs go chasing after him. And that's Jerry Jones. He's over here, doing all this talking and everything else, right? While over here is where the real work is being done. Like Jerry Jones will say, I'd like to have AP here, or, that Johnny Manziel, he's great, and this, that, and the other. But the team really is over here making decisions like get Zach Martin. And that's what you got to love. So, Jerry's saying this about Dez Bryant. But I remember him talking about Dez Bryant being part of the family and everything else, but it was Stephen Jones who was stone-faced when it came to talking about Dez Bryant. Now, that's not to say that Stephen Jones hasn't said, player acquisition is a 365-day-a-year job, and we look at anybody who can help make us better. So read however you want on that situation. But Jerry Jones is open to the possibility of Dez Bryant coming back. So This is going to get interesting before it's all said and done. But I have a feeling that this is great talk for social media and everything else, but I don't think that this is really going to happen. But what do I know? I'm a guy with the day job and a voodoo doll. But we are now at the combine, and tight ends are being worked out now. Later on today, it will be quarterbacks and wide receivers. And somebody had posted to me earlier today, and they said, man, I hope we go for a wide receiver in the first round. And I'm sitting there thinking, wide receiver, especially since they say they're planning on trying to bring back Randall Cobb as well as Amari Cooper, and you got Michael Gallup, I'm like, that's a strength. But here's what's kind of interesting to me is when you start looking back, and let's just say that the NFL season leaders, or a lot of the great wide receivers that we've had over the last few years. Michael Thomas, who had an NFL record, 149 receptions, has not gone to the Super Bowl. Julio Jones, now he did go to the Super Bowl a couple years before. He led the NFL the year before, doesn't have a ring. Antonio Brown, who is a two-time winner of having the most yards in the season, never been close to a Super Bowl. T.Y. Hilton, nope. We talked about Julio Jones a couple times, boom. Josh Gordon, Calvin Johnson, Brandon Lloyd, Andre Johnson. You got to literally go all the way back to Jerry Rice before you find a number one wide receiver who won the Super Bowl that year. In fact, you can look at guys like Chad Johnson, you can look at T.O.'s, a lot of great wide receivers that never win the Super Bowl. But on the flip side, tight ends, which is an area that we have not been really great for quite a while. I mean, Jason Witten, the elder statesman, has been the consummate professional. But in comparison to where other teams are with their tight ends, it's night and day difference. But what I want you to notice is this. Travis Kelce, boom, led the NFL in tight end receiving, right? Got a ring this year. You'll notice down here, contrary to popular belief that Carson Wentz doesn't have anybody to throw to, you got Zach Ertz. And I will say that New England without Gronkowski took a step back on that offense. We'll just put that in there. But as you look at most of the teams that are in here, San Francisco, runner-up, look where they are. Most of the teams that are in there are playoff teams. You go down Baltimore at 7 with Mark Andrews, Jared Cook with New Orleans. You're looking at teams where the tight end is almost more important than the wide receiver. So let's go back the year before where New England won. Now, Gronkowski was 11th that year, but you start looking, see, Kansas City, AFC Championship game with Travis Kelce. Philadelphia, playoff team, boom, there he is right there, number 3. Interesting, right? 2017, Gronkowski, bam, Super Bowl champions. See, Zach Ertz, boom, right in there. So what you're seeing is the importance of tight ends. And as I look at our offense is pretty much loaded. I know we got some offensive linemen that are getting old, Tyron Smith and things, and, eventually we're going to start looking at finding a replacement for him. But he's good for about 13 games. You've got Zach Martin, who never misses time, has been fantastic, only had that one knee injury. Travis Frederick, back to all-pro again, Pro Bowler again. You look at Lyle Collins, who should have been a Pro Bowler. We've got Connor Williams and Connor McGovern, there for guard, so that area is okay. Zeke Elliott, hopefully he's going to be even better this year because he'll have a full camp under his belt, although we won't have as many practices with the CBA, but we'll get to that another time. You look at your wide receivers, they're planning on bringing back Randall Cobb to go back in the slot. You're looking at bringing back Amari Cooper, of course, as your number 1. And Michael Gallup, if he continues to progress where he is, boom. And you can move Blake Jarwin maybe into that number 1 spot. But what you have to understand is maybe if there's a place that you look at and say, we need an upgrade, it's got to be tight end. Tight ends are more important in my mind than your number one wide receiver. They are the outlet. They are the guy that when the play breaks down that you can go to. Now, of course, there's, as Bryant say, he'll play tight end as long as you don't have to block nobody. But, we'll see how all that goes. But I think the Cowboys could be interested in looking at another tight end either through free agency or through the draft, because to me, that's the main area that you can look to try and upgrade the offense. The rest of it, the offense should improve just from play calling itself and having a different look where teams don't know what to expect. Hearing Mike McCarthy talking about using two running back sets. Teams aren't going to know what to expect out of this offense. So that's the part you got to feel good about. So drafting a wide receiver, that's not on my plate for this year. No. I'm still thinking I want defense first. And we'll see where that goes. As always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you guys a little later. We might do a little live stream while the quarterbacks are going.